Hi everyone, this is producer Meg. I just wanted to jump in quickly at the top of this episode to let you know that this episode includes brief talk of pedophilia and the Epstein files. That's at the start of the episode. If you don't want to hear that, skip ahead about 5 minutes once the episode starts. And there is also discussion of grief throughout this episode. If that brings up anything for you, you could maybe give this one a miss. Otherwise, I've put some resources in the show notes and it's a great episode. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
The NobleSole podcast would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the lands on which we gather, dream, and record this podcast.
The Wurundjeri and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation.
We pay our respects to those mobs and their elders, past, present, and future. We'd also like to extend that acknowledgement to all mobs across the many nations on these lands.
We'd like to thank the lands that we create on. Sovereignty was never ceded.
This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Welcome to the NobleSole podcast, where creativity meets consciousness. I'm Amy Soul.
And I'm Ben Noble. We're best friends, like your right sock and your left sock.
And today we're yarning time and memory. Time.
Memory. Time,
Memory. Time
in memoriam.
So today's episode is about episode.
We pass the buck from one to the other.
Ep of the sode.
Ebbs and flows.
Oh, let's not talk about Epstein.
Oh. I was saying like episode, but the ebbs and flows.
Oh, the ebbs and flows of the episode.
episodes.
I went somewhere and my brain just went, oh no, they're going to... They're coming for us. We're on a list.
We're not on a list. We are not on a fucking list. Jesus Christ.
No. I meant on the list of people who call out the people who went to the island, not the people who went to the island.
There is no list of people that have called out the people that are on the list.
I think the government will come after you. I think that I don't trust... I don't trust pedophiles. I mean, no one should, but we keep putting them in positions of power.
Sure, yeah, like, I agree. I don't know how we got here.
But hear me out.
Hear
me out of how this has to do with time and memory.
Yes, and
the questioning of reality. The constant time that we now live in where your reality is constantly questioned and you were told not to believe what you see. And the rewriting of memory.
Yeah, like
where someone can just go, that didn't happen. And we just go, okay. What?
Now, are we talking about like the whole like the conquerors of the age write history? Or are we talking more about like did the Monopoly man have a monocle?
No, we're talking about, I mean...
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, no, but what we are, yes, and.
Yes.
Yes, and. I mean how, I am talking about not the conqueror, because they don't conquer anything, but how people in positions of power or people rewrite history, like there's that version, right? Like, you know, when people talk about colonialism, they go, oh, but this was an adventurer, not a rapist and a massacrist. Like this was a good guy who went on an adventure, and we're going to teach you in schools. Yeah. And Aboriginal people weren't here.
It was discovered.
Yeah, Terra Nullius. Oh. Just the rewriting of context to fit a narrative so that people can get resources. That. But what I'm also talking about is actually just the blatant monopoly over people's brains to go, what you think and know isn't real in contemporary context. It would be like me looking at you right now and going, we're not filming a podcast.
Yeah, gaslight gatekeep.
Yeah, we're not filming a podcast. It's not real.
Yeah, so it's...
And not in a cool Plato way, because we all should question reality because it's not that real. But in just a, no, I need your reality to not be accepted.
I did not think that, like, when I first When I first thought about time and memory, like before this, I didn't think that we were just going to go into like straight up propaganda machine. Like, what is the media doing to us? Like, and I love it. Like, I'm here for it because, like, what are they doing to us?
Listen, but I think it's a really great grounding principle and idea that memory is unreliable. Right? My understanding of memory is completely fabricated and totally made up.
So how do I know, like, all the words to every song that I've ever listened to and liked?
Don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist.
Okay. Yep.
Well,
Every
memory is an unreliable resource, right? So
because it's from our perspective.
But even beyond that, like, it's just memory just lies. And like, because we get told things and it seeps in and influences us. And actually it's been proven that when people recite memories from like conscious thought, it's not real. When people have embodied memories, it's different. Like when you're feeling a feeling or this, like you start shaking every time you go to that turnpike.
Yeah.
But you go, oh, because on a Tuesday I saw a car accident, but you never were there on a Tuesday. But the memory of shaking exists for a reason.
Right.
But it's not the reason your brain is telling you it is.
So
Gareth was telling me about this the other day, actually. There was like a clear example of that where it was like, it was one of his best mates had like, I can't remember what it was. It was like he had a fear of something and he's like, oh, that's because it was about death and he'd been to a funeral and he was like, this thing triggers because I went to this funeral. And later in his life, his sister was like, you never went to that funeral. You weren't there. And he had this whole memory that had dictated all of these fears because of this memory he had.
Yeah.
And then he'd gone, actually, oh, well then if that's not real, my whole perception of how I move through life isn't real. And this thing that I've created my identity around isn't real.
Yeah.
And now that's not to say that the body doesn't remember trauma and that memory is not a thing that is embodied, but it does mean that we really try to create the narratives and the story around it to make sense. And then we get stuck in it.
Yeah, I feel like it's memory is such a hard thing when we're talking about like things that have come up throughout our years, especially blockages or traumas or things like that, because of how unreliable it is. Like I've had things that have come up where I know the feeling of it. I know who was involved, but I don't remember the actual thing. And that's been really hard to kind of navigate because it's like, well, I know this feels unsafe. I know I feel X, Y, and Z about it, but like...
Did you just say Z?
I just thought
Did you just say Z?
I did just say Z.
It's Z.
It's so funny. I was like... I said Z. I was like, that's weird that I said Z. But don't worry about it. Just keep going on. Like, who would ever pull that up? You would.
Me? I was like,
yeah.
What in the Z is this?
Let's unpack that. Forget your trauma dumping right now about your mum. What? Yes, I was talking about you. No, she's not listening. Fuck.
And have we actually said anything?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. Do you remember
Well,
it differently?
actually, that is such a good point, though. Because right now, my perception of, like, the listeners who have just experienced the thing, right?
Yep.
Probably have a more conscious awareness of the presenceness of it than I do of just having lived it.
Yeah, because
And I'm going to rewrite what we just did, because I just tried to summarize it, but I probably absolutely bollocks it up.
Yeah.
I just said bollocks.
Yeah, so like this is a perfect example of like how memory can change the perception of a thing, right? Because objectively, somebody might look at these last 10 minutes and be like, yeah, no, that was coherent and I was on the ride.
I was on the roll. And then
then all of a sudden, judgment sets in.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, no. This is, I need to either protect me or you or like my band of people. And no, we're actually going to change the story because my emotion has come up and that's like triggered the memory of it. And all of a sudden now I have to rewrite.
I'm like...
Yeah. Full circle, baby. I did that.
I can picture Meg's edit of me. Just like...
Yeah.
like, soul leaving my body. Like, that is just...
That's it.
I'd pick up this mic and I'd drop it on the ground.
Yeah.
It's true. Don't do that. They're roads.
That's all right.
Gives it better.
They're made for road.
Just a little baby. Just a little baby.
You know, I was the road man once.
What's a road man?
A road M1 man.
What's a road man?
So these microphones, there's like a microphone from Rode, shout out Rode, called an M1, and I was like a 7-foot mascot. And there was
As a microphone.
As a microphone.
Can we please just cut in footage of wherever that is into this episode?
Yeah, if you want.
Right now. Like, what were you wearing? What did you look like?
Oh, so
What was the
like
day?
I was so there was two. There was one because they have a short film festival like competition, and so this was their entry into it because they did an entry into it like as an example of like what to do or not what to do, but like just an example because they're a really fun, creative team out there.
That's cool.
And my mate Berkey, he worked for them. One of the guys from Blue Juice, the band Blue Juice, like...
I'm sorry, but you've just said the word, like, Berkey and Blue Juice so close together that I'm like, is this English?
This is my memory. Anyway, long story short, I acted, and it was the first time getting paid for acting.
It was your first time acting. I remember you telling me this story about this being and this was when you were like, I'm going to be an actor.
Yeah, they paid me $1,000 to do like this like little short film, and that was amazing. And then I got paid another $1,000 to make like a rap about like the company and like did from the M1 like persona. They loved it so much that
so good.
So maybe now that was maybe 10 years ago. Maybe it's time to like rehash,
bring it back out.
Bring back M1 Man. Anyway, Road. If you're out there and you want to bring back M1 Man, let's go. Memory, baby.
Do you remember the rap?
Yeah, it was like, I'm M1 Man. Only my face can get a suntan.
I'm M1 Man. Only my face can get a suntan. That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, it was like...
99 problems, but I might ain't one. If you haven't gear problems, up about you, son. I got 99 problems, but I might ain't one. I'm M1 Man, only my face can get a suntan. Don't even lie, know you're jealous of my gloved hands. Don't even need brands. I got a gold dot on my chest, it gives me swag, fam.
And then it was like I was telling the story of Road and how it came to be.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, we can just link. It's on YouTube. Like
that's really cool.
We'll just put the link down here, and if you want to, look at that, you can. Switch gears.
Why did you become a Cher? Cher.
Why did you become a Cher? What?
That's my Cher impression. It's terrible. Do you know that song?
What?
I'm gonna do something big, brave, and bold, and say something that's scary for me. I have or did have OCD. Really, and I mean actual OCD, not what everyone tries to claim as OCD, and they just like putting containers neatly in their packaging. Khloe Kardashian, the fuck is your ableism? I mean actual OCD, like intrusive thoughts, agoraphobia, panic disorder, unable to leave the house, very mentally unwell. And one of my OCD thoughts was I was in a car accident when I was really little, and the song that was playing before that, a few days before that, my dad always used to play with Cher. And it linked in my trauma, and my brain was like, if you ever hear that song, it means you're going to die.
What? He fucking said that?
No, I did.
Sorry.
My dad. My brain.
I thought your dad said
No. My brain. My brain went, that song.
Oh, fuck.
And so even you singing it, then I went...
Oh, shit.
And then my brain went, oh, no, but you can't say that on the podcast because then if you do die, then that's proof. And I'm like, no, that's just called coincidence. And that's called magical thinking and OCD and not useful.
Yeah.
And memory is a lie.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, like, as you were talking about before, about the protective mechanisms in which your brain goes into on the journey to go, no, protect yourself. and like seeking the discomfort in that and going, no, talk about it, say it.
Yeah.
Let's but that song specifically brings up all of my OCD magical thinking thoughts.
Is there any other like art forms that like from your past have affected you throughout time?
What do you mean?
Like, so do you believe in Life After Love is like an art creation by Cher?
Also, I love that about this point where I'm like, do you believe in life after love? Where like I can sit here and say that song or sing that song and not feel scared anymore. Like
Yeah.
that's fucking solid.
that's
That is
fucking awesome.
healing.
Yeah.
Like that is huge.
Yeah.
Shout out my psychologist.
Fuck yeah. I think that was really interesting and really brave for you to say.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm still really
Um,
scared. I want to run around the house.
Yeah. And then I was trying to be like, okay, so like art obviously can be such a visceral thing that like takes us back in time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like literally.
Good segue.
Yeah, but like, is there anything else that has kind of come up for you?
Art is so visceral.
Yeah.
Like art will just trigger so many things. Like, and not like negatively, but just bring up or remind. For me, it's very viscerally. I react to art really strongly.
Yeah.
And emotionally.
Is there a particular art form that like gets you in your feelings most?
Music.
Music for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I think there is something about music that is, for me, like, and this might be like little Ben. Well, not even little bit, like teenage Ben, right?
yeah.
Okay, so sorry to just cut it in for a
no,
second.
pop off, teenage man.
Okay, cool. Barbie. You know how like Barbie and Ken, there's that scene where all the Kens are on the beach. And
Oh
they're,
yeah, you
like,
told me about this, about the
and they're singing
Yeah.
the Push by
Yeah.
Matchbox 20.
yeah.
I saw a video about Rob Thomas talking about that and how like he fully got it because he's like, you know, this Ken, he doesn't know emotions and this is how he's like connecting to his emotions and expressing them.
Yeah.
This is how little like younger Rob Thomas got his emotions out by like creating these songs.
Yeah.
That's how I like my sadness and my anger. That first album of Matchbox 20, like I end up having to buy a second CD of it because it got scratched up too much because I would just like repeat and just like belt these songs out. And like they're sad and angry songs. Like they're like Rob Thomas fucking pop off. Like I love Matchbox 20 so much. But like that was a lot but it was like so visceral and I connected so much with his lyrics.
So was the lyrics are things that you connected to, not the music?
Oh,
You're a lyric person?
Lyric person
Yeah,
through
same.
and through.
I am so, like, you know how there's music people and lyric people? There's some people that don't even hear lyrics.
And they're just beat.
It's the beat, it's the
the beat,
music.
yeah.
Whereas I'm like, oh, those lyrics, baby, that story.
Do you think that's an ADHD thing or do you think that's just like some people just vibe to different like thing?
I don't know. I'd be really curious. If anyone knows, if there's been any studies, anyone has proof of studies about why people listen to music or why people listen to lyrics. I think that I'm a lyric person because I'm a writer. And so lyrics for me and words of me, how I connect. Same as like when I'm dancing, I don't dance on the beat, I dance to the lyrics. I dance to the words. Mariah gets me. A lot of the divas get me. Mariah gets me, Celine gets me, Whitney gets me.
Yeah, right.
Like personally, they understand me.
Yeah. I mean, diva to diva. Hell yeah.
How we know.
Yes.
No, but those songs, like, immediately memory. Fantasy, which is one of my all-time favorite songs, which I've listened to since I was a bub, like since it came out, like 1995, whenever it was. Always been one of my favorite songs. But now in my head, I see Ryan Reynolds from that movie that he did where he was an NPC in a video game.
Oh,
and he's listening
Free Guy.
Yeah, and he's listening to, and he's walking down the street to Fantasy. And I'm just like, I get this.
Yeah.
I understand this, dude. This is my life. I also have a memory of me riding around Adelaide on the little beam scooters, having my phone in my pocket, blaring fantasy, and me with my little helmet on, just going.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like my happy song. What about you? Like, what else is so Matchbox 20? What other forms? Obviously music. We both connect on music.
Yeah.
Film is obviously going to be a big one for both of us.
Yeah, I feel like, film and TV, film, TV, and streaming. Like,
Is that a new category now?
well, for me, it is because, like, from what I'm about to say,
Crazy.
when I say streaming, I more mean like Twitch, like,
I'm so old.
yeah, like Prospering. He's like great black content creator, just like does Fortnite videos, and like there is something that's like at the end of a night, especially like when I just want to like. And it might be like disassociation, some version of it, but just like if I had a big day or whatever, like I'll just put him on, and it's like I can tune in as much as I want or tune out as much as I want, but it's like something that's there. I feel like it's like, people watch The Office or Friends or whatever it may be. It's like their comfort, and it's like a soothing thing. Like you put a blanket on. You put on something that like this guy, like he plays at like it'll be like a 5-hour stream, right? And each game is like 15 minutes. So do the math. Meg, do the math right here. So average.
Don't make Meg math.
No, all right, whatever. I could do anyway. That's not interesting. The point is like he's playing the same game, but like it's soothing to me.
Yeah, so I wonder if this is a thing, right? Which is like, I am one of those people where I also watch the same thing every night. I watch cartoons. So I watch like Adventure Time. At the moment, I've been rewatching Wander Over Yonder, which is a great cartoon on loop. I've also been rewatching Owl House on loop. And I was watching a TikTok, or it was a TikTok or an Instagram reel, that was yarning about how the reason why people like rewatching the same things is not just ADHD, so you have noise, but it's not, you have noise on that you can just like turn your brain off. You don't have to actually focus on, but it just exists, so it slows everything down. But also people that have CPTSD like rewatching the same thing over and over again because we know how it ends, and it's comforting to our nervous system. Because we expect disaster.
Yeah, I wonder, like, because Fortnite is like a shooting game.
Yeah.
It's like there's like
the violence and the intensity,
but I know
but it's
it
soothing
will finish.
and everything is going to be okay.
And it's like
Futurama did this episode too, where they were like, it was one episode, because every episode of The Simpsons ends like it always comes back to the same. Like we love it when the episode, everything might get destroyed, but it'll always come back. They'll sit on the same couch.
Yeah.
We know that it'll always come back to safety, and we know what that is, and with that soothes us over time. We go, oh, this is how it ends. And Futurama did an episode where they didn't do that. They were like, the world was just still destroyed at the end of it. But the next episode, they obviously started all over again, and they are in the same place. But actually, that there's like a real cognitive dissonance that happens when we don't get the soothing and the comfort of understanding that the world will return as normal.
Do you feel like as artists we need to bring that to the world, or like do you feel like it's okay to like have that leave people in that space?
Very, very, very good question. And I think that there's a myriad of versions of it. I think it's both. I personally think that like life is not predictable. Life is not safe. Life is uncomfortable. And we're meant to be uncomfortable, and we're meant to be real, and we're meant to be true, and we're meant to be in the present moment, right? We're not meant to be in the past. We're not meant to be in the future. We're meant to be here in whatever this is, right? We'll change things. It's you and I sitting on these two couches, but your background's different from the last few episodes. We're not in our hoodies this episode. Things have changed, but there's familiar things that people can connect onto. And so there's like a soothing and a comfortness and a familiarity that allows us to go, okay, this is comforting, but also maybe there's growth in this. And I think it's about capacity. I think everyone's capacity is different. But I think if you don't choose to step into discomfort, there's no growth. And I think if there's no growth, there's just suffering. Is my personal philosophy. Is that sad? You look sad.
No, like I'm just letting that
Hit.
yeah, and sit where it needs to. Because for sure, like, I mean, even within my own, like, arts practice, like, there'll be, like, a thing that I do and, like, oh, cool, like, I'm in a good pocket here. But, like, I'm always looking for growth. And, like, I call that, like, between the tension or, like, the edges of, like, all right, where's my edge here? Like, how can I go 10%, 5%, whatever it may be, to push it further, where it's like now it's not comfortable.
But sometimes I genuinely think that sometimes the comfort is to realize that the pocket might not exist and to just jump. Like, you got to jump into the unknown. You got to go, wow.
But then, like, yeah, I suppose, like, I get what you're saying, and like sometimes when I feel like I'm in a pocket, it's like, oh, this is smooth, this is silky, like, this is good, like, and maybe that came from, like, pushing to an edge.
I think it depends on what the uncomfortable is. I think people push out of the pocket because it's uncomfortable to stay inside the pocket, and I think that's also something to look out for.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it's about just doing it for doing its sake. I think it's about doing it because it is the thing where growth is leading, and sometimes it's to stay in the conformity. And sometimes it's to push the boundaries. And I think that that's individual. And I think that's so much about presence. Like, when we talk about time and memory, like, if you're trying to predict what the outcome's going to be, you've already fucked it. If you're trying to base it on a memory of something, you've definitely fucked it.
Yeah.
It's about being here, which is exactly what I said to you before we started this episode too. Like, what happens in the present moment. And that is what the thing is.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, you can't recreate a moment, and you can't, like, future predict how you'll react or how an audience react or how we'll react with each other. We just need to
Be there.
Be here.
Like, I'm working on a work at the moment that's all about questioning memory. And writing from memory and creating from memory and creating from time and what it means to actually use. Because like, my fundamental belief is that every single great piece of art comes from personal lived experience. And I think there's a lot of people who pretend like it doesn't. Like, there's a lot of artists that go, oh, no, that's totally made up. I'm like, you wrote about a sad little boy with a blue hat and you're a 50-year-old man sitting there in a blue hat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You can claim that, like, little Timmy is not you. Little Timmy is you, John. Like, no, but I think that, and if we're going to talk identity politics for a minute, because we know I love that platform.
Yeah, go. Pop off. Yeah.
I also think that there is a space where, not pointing at white people.
Not pointing, like literally pointing.
Are allowed to have their lived experience be art, whereas when it's black and brown and POC and diverse bodies, it's almost less artistic if it comes from your lived experience. It's considered less intellectual, less brilliant. You're just talking about your story, rather than, like, when a white person goes, yeah, and when I was here and I did this and then it reminded me of this and now it's a box. Whereas if a black person goes, yeah, because I want to talk about this aspect of what I've lived and experienced, like, yeah, but that's not art. All art comes from your lived experience. The memory might be interpreted or reimagined or shifted, but it's all from us. And I actually, for me in my practice, I just like to unveil it. I'm like, I don't 100% know all the parts, but I think it comes from here. And I think I'm poking at this part, and I think it's an important part because it's who I am. And art that comes from identity isn't less valid. In fact, it's more valid. And I think that all art comes from identity. It's just some people know their identity.
Yeah.
Anything to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my first thought is like...
Just let me get off my soapbox for 1 second. I'm just going to... Yep.
My first thought is, like, the internalized the broad racism of the audience just assuming that the audience is white. And so then that POC lived experience is not the audience's POC, is not the audience's experience.
Yeah.
And therefore can't be art because it's not connecting to the audience.
I also think that individual lived experience, right? Like, I connect in to so many of your stories. We have such a different lived experience.
Yeah.
When we talk about our experiences, though, they're so similar. Like, they're so different.
Yeah. And
And yet also we go, oh, yeah, remember when we were little and nobody wanted to be our friend or no one came to our birthday party and how much that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Or or how maybe this parent, or what, like all of those parts. I think there's some people, we all have a shared humanity. And the ability to be able to share our experiences and our memories in our life, that's what great art is.
100%. And we have so much more that we connect to each other than we have that is different.
Yeah, to be able to also listen to the things that are different and drop in and go, fuck.
Yeah.
Like the perception, even as how we started this episode talking about kind of the colonial retelling and the re-narrative. That's why it's so important to have Native and First People stories retelling what the truth of the narrative is from our perspectives. Because those truths haven't been heard. And actually, it's not like... I think sometimes people get this idea that when we retell our stories, it comes from the same place of trying to dominate or overwrite or retell the narrative rather than go, no, we're sharing what we know, what our knowledges are. And that's actually a gift to listen and be a part of and to understand. And I think that's really special. I think getting to hear people's stories and getting to hear people's truths, it's great art.
Yeah. You want to do a thing?
Yeah, I want to do a creative practice now in
great.
regards to time and memory.
Time and memory.
Time and memory.
Cool. Do you want to introduce it?
The exercise is us both reading a piece of work from each of our arts practices. Yours is a poem, mine is a scene from a play. And what we're going to do is you're going to read me your poem and I'm going to listen to it deeply. And then I'm going to write your poem into a scene from the memory of that poem for it to be interpreted. And you're going to listen to my scene and then allow yourself to rewrite it into a poem from memory of what you heard. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And we're going to make sure that it gets into memory, I'll read my poem, then you read your scene. So there's a gap in between it. So it's not me just straight away, boom, here it is back to you.
Allows it time to metabolize and change into something else. And then we can see, it's already going to be removed because it's going to be interpreted through our individual bodies.
Yeah.
But also then how does it shift and change? And then we'll reflect on that.
Yeah, cool.
That sounds genius.
Love that.
Love that for us.
And it's something that people can do at home if they have a
friend.
A cute little friend that they can write
things with. Or paint or juggle or whatever your practice is.
And if you don't, maybe just
friend.
Send us your things and then maybe we can do it.
Oh, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Are we their friends?
Friends. Cool.
Okay. Read me a poem, Benjamin.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This one's called Rip.
Rest in peace or rip something? Oh, no.
It's like a soft release of tension. An end to clenched feelings, to a mesh to fully unpack. Not a violent mosh pit of words to sting, manipulations, or even reasoning. Just a gust of wind that has blown off the faulty supports that was keeping this dining room table afloat. I could tell that she wanted more of a reaction from me. As if we both deserved that triumphant crescendo of catharsis. I was just done. Diminished. It's hard to keep the fire alive when I got so used to putting them out. I wonder if my dad ever felt like this. He wasn't the best with advice, so I doubt that if he had the words, they would help. Yet I yearn for them. They say that grief comes and goes in waves. Then is the ocean love, sadness, or is it death that we've wrapped up into beauty? Whenever I'm in the ocean, I have this little gratitude ritual that I do. I wonder if being so close to death forces me to focus on what's in front of me. Then I step onto the sand and feel the billions of grains that make up this one beach, congruent yet separate. As the shore comes in and out, the sand gets denser, compacted in its movement, until it is consumed, and the weight of the ocean keeps it in place, only to be moved when a celestial being deems it time to be ripped away. I grieve my father's life in his death. I grieve my mother's death in her life. If their blood, legacy, and lessons float downstream to me, what happens when the flow is dammed? An intricate engineered labyrinth of channels, canals, communities, and connections that make up a new reservoir filling up my cup that I can drink from. Yet, the pH is different. I'm different. Even with this newfound fluidity, I'm still dying of thirst.
It's beautiful. It's like, it's so funny because from your first sentence, the first thing I visualized was water. Like I already saw the beach. Like the movement of the wave was written into the rhythm of the first two lines. Like it was so intrinsically a part of the poem. Like I already saw the visuals. I'll metabolize all of that.
Yeah.
To come back at you in a theatrical scene form.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you for sharing it. It was really beautiful.
Thanks.
I just love your arts practice so much.
Appreciate you.
It's special to be around it.
Thanks.
I'm going to read you a scene now.
Yes, please.
I'm going to read you a scene from my award-winning play,
Yeah.
Nen's Place. Act 1, Scene 1. Boy meets star. A small town, a town built on stolen land. A small town that surrounds by vastness. The land is full of stories that haven't been told. Two houses sit next to each other, both with front verandas. Both look fake, like they don't belong on the land they have been built. Yet here they are. One a soft orange, the other a soft green. An old wooden fence runs between them. The green is pristine, cold, pots and plants that make sense. A white wooden swing sits on the veranda. White banisters frame a beautiful staircase. The orange is clutter, warmth, plastic crates, and a cockatoo cage and piles of junk, of miscellaneous things that have been collected at garage sales. No banister framing it. The things spill out over the veranda. Both have beautiful green grass. It's night time. The porch lights are off. The only light comes from the night sky and a street light in the distance, and from the window of the pale orange house where a dimly TV light flickers from infomercials. A cockatoo squawks. A door opens slowly. Sam, very slowly and quietly, tiptoes makes his way out of the pale green house. His soft footsteps can be heard on wooden planks. Shh! 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 Shit! Sam drops his keys. Sam tries to find them in the garden. Shh! Please shut up! Shh! Shh! Cockatoo laughs and bounces up and down. Are you laughing at me? A young woman appears from the dark, clearly having watched this whole interaction. He does that. Fuck! Rude. Where did you come from? Here? Wait, you were lurking in the dark. You were sneaking around in the dark. I was not. Sam keeps trying to find his keys. What you looking for? Nothing. Doesn't look like nothing. Shh! Well, it is. Sam picks up his keys and adjusts his suit. Sam watches. Sam starts walking towards the car, like Star isn't there. Where you off to? He drops his keys again. Shit! Shh! Does he have to do that? He's a cocky? He's very loud. Sam tries to find his keys on the ground. He struggles. I'm looking at pictures in the sky. I didn't ask. Aren't you curious? No. Maybe if you knew how to read the sky, you'd find things better. Sam continuously tries to find his keys in the garden. I'm really good at finding lost things. Nan always gets me to look for the clicker-clacker. You've just got to sense it, you know, like a river. You always know what direction to go in to find a river. What's a clicker-clacker? For the telly? Right. Oh, thank God. I found them. Just fine. Sam stands up. Star looks at Sam. Sam, who is clearly dressed in a black suit. Everything looks meticulous and well put together. Your clothes. I'm so sorry for your loss. Who were they? Who? The person you lost. I haven't lost anyone. Then why are you dressed like that? They look at each other. I like it. Well, bye. You look really nice. Sam stops. Oh, I know. Wait here. I've just got to go to the shed. What? I'll be right back. Wait here and do not move. Star runs off. Sam stands there awkwardly for a while. It's silent. Sam looks at the car and then back to where Star ran off to. And then back at the car. Rah! Shit! Ta-da! Star appears in a big, beautiful wedding dress. What are you? Now we go together. Where did that come from? Nan has a collection of them in the garage. Why? Never know when you need one. Oh. I didn't. No. I'm not hitting on you. Okay. I just thought it'd be fun. Fun. Well, this was strange. Sam goes to leave. I'm Star. She reaches out her hand. He looks at her oddly. It's my name. I chose it.
Yeah, wow. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, the worlds that you build are just like incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was really special.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful play. I really love it as a piece of work. Hopefully it's getting programmed next year. So that'll be really great
Where?
to share it with everyone.
We
I won't
don't
announce
know
it because I don't know. I'm not.
That's
There's
true,
no
yeah.
contracts. There's no.
Gotcha.
That it's meant to be. So when it is announced and when it is actually on a stage, I'll let everyone in the podcast know.
Can't wait.
All right. Shall we now do that speedy, fasty thing?
And we're back. How is that for you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I thank you so much for letting me write from or be inspired by your perspective in your poem and your story. Because it's so funny just how it's still obviously versions of my story because we can only write from our own perspective.
Yeah.
But to be able to try and get into a character and I'm really interested to see how this plays out. How's it for you?
Oh, there was definitely a part of me that like was there instantly where like because I could envision so much when you were telling me the story, I was like, I'm so immersed in this world. How can I like get all of that into like a 10-minute writing thing? Like, and so I just like tried to drop that and just get what I could. And so like I feel like I've got like the first, 2/3 or whatever, but it's like it's underdone. And like a part of me like hates that, but also like I love that as as the practice. Do you know what I mean? Like being like, hey, here's 10 minutes. Go reflect.
Go do a thing.
Go do the thing. And so like that's really was really nice, and it's
this is rough as guts, but like I feel like I was like, oh, Ben could like rewrite this and go make a show, but this is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like super rough. Do we want to start with mine first and then yours?
Yeah.
And then we'll do it. Yeah, that's the
math?
math?
Because
the math?
that's the math. Because I said mine first, so you repeat it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your work was called Rip.
Yeah.
So I've written The Lonely Table, A Tale of Grief. That's the little bit of scene I've written. A table sits center stage. It's old and wooden, like it's been here for 30 years. A place of memory. The sounds of water can be softly heard. Throughout the scene, water slowly fills the space. Ben enters the theatre. He stops at the table. He slowly pulls himself up and onto it. He lays down. He closes his eyes. The sound of a man and woman can be heard fighting. They get louder. Ben puts his hands up to his ears, and slowly the sounds of the man and woman are drowned out by water. Ben. I never asked to be born, you know? I never said, hey, you know what would be great? Being alive. But then again, maybe I did. Maybe I put a little note into a little bottle and lobbed it off the side of the universe. Ben sits up and looks at the audience. His legs dangle off the side of the table. Now, don't get me wrong. I love being alive. I think the world is a better place for having me here. I just don't always know if my parents think they got what they paid for, you know? Like, it took them a lot for them to bring me into this world. And now here I am in the middle of an argument with my mum. And my dad only got 29 years out of me. I mean, that's on him. He's the one who died. But I just sometimes wonder if they have a grief for the son they could have had. Like, anyone could have popped out. But they didn't get anyone. They got me. Hi. A woman enters. She slams down a plate. She exits. That seems unnecessary. Oh, friend. Do you want to talk about the feelings, or would you like a hug?
No, it was really beautiful. Very visceral. Very. Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for letting me. I hope that, getting to express or play with it. Oh, Meg's crying too.
Yeah, the part that, like, you know, it took a lot for them to get me here, and I don't know if this is what they paid for.
Yeah.
Like that in itself, like, it was like, it's nice to have your perspective also have their perspective. Like like you zooming out on my zooming out is a further zoom out, like the meta-ness of that, where it's now not only about, like, because the ocean and the grief is from everyone.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah. If I was, like, that's the setup. If I was to get to the climax, I think that the realization would be that he is exactly what they wanted, and they love them. They love him dearly.
Yeah.
But even though there was more complexity into, like, what it means to project what you want into the world and who you are and stuff.
Do you wanna hear what I have?
I
for
sure
you?
do. I'm so excited. I'm gonna close my eyes.
Okay.
Sleep now.
I didn't
Name it.
but now I want to. I'll name it at the end.
Okay.
In the dark lies two houses, one green, one orange. The green has pristine plants on varnished verandas fronts. The orange has a parrot that squawks at things we can't see. A suited man appears from the green door. Dapper Dan as one could be. As he goes to leave, he trips, and his keys, they go flying. The parrot squawks and sees all. As he frantically looks for them, his suit gets more crinkled. The parrot squawks and sees all. What are you doing? An ethereal voice is heard from the orange house. The Dan man is startled, almost back into the safety of his house. Oh, I was just looking for my keys. They've got to be here. They've got to be here somewhere. He rustles in the plants, bushes, and banisters of the stairs. Squawk.
It's lovely. It's beautiful. I love that story so much. I just love that place so much. Oh, it's so funny how like you captured like it's interesting how like the poetry can capture a different like Albert as a character. You know that he understands and sees everything, but like hearing in a poem, you can say it. You can go, you can say the subtext. You can say the inner world. And hearing the inner world of Sam just then, because it felt like Sam was more of you, like Star felt you in the work, because it's from my perspective, you probably hear more of Star's inner world. I mean, Sam is probably more the protagonist, but let's not get into that. But hearing kind of, I just heard how lonely Sam is, and that just made me really sad, like as a character. He's so lonely and he's so isolated and he's so awkward and he's so uncomfortable in his human self. It was just really beautiful to hear. And how much I love my own play. Like,
that's fun.
I really love it. Like I just love it as a work. I'm just like, I just want to get it on a stage. It's just so good. Thank you.
And then again, like if we had a second scene, like if I had a second page, it would be that, like, you know, Star shines the light that he needs. You know, like, because like from what I hear and from what I see, it's like almost the yin and the yang, like outside pristine, inside like a mess. The other side of the fence, outside a mess, inside pristine, and it's like, yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you. It was really special. What a way to witness each other's artistry. And like memory, because both of the works are memory, right? They're both, someone could write a thesis on that. Someone should. Thank you all for listening today. This is really wonderful. Big love.
Oh, I want to call that. There's almost like because that's like chapter 1 would be like the dawn of Dan, because like that's where like he finally gets the light from Star.
It's so funny because his name's Sam, but you called him Dapper Dan.
So
he became Dan.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
funny.
mean. Like it's.
I was reminded because one of my first boyfriends was called Dan, and I just found that so funny. I was like, yes.
After I wrote it, I was like, oh, that's right. Is this gonna be it? I was like,
yeah, let's go. All these boys.
Yeah, funny.
Oh, all right. Shall we sign off?
Tell us, where's the script, Meg?
I could not script.
Oh, okay.
I could not script.
Okay.
Whatever the fuck this is.
Whatever this is. Thanks for listening to the NobleSole podcast with Amy Soul and Ben Noble. This episode was produced and edited by Megan Scollier-Gray.
If you want to support this independent podcast, subscribe or follow wherever you listen. You can also check us out on socials at NobleSole Podcast. If you want to drop us a line, email us at noblesolepodcast@gmail.com.
And hey, if you liked the episode, write us a 5-star review. And if you didn't, well, that's none of our business. Bye.
Bye.